Hey guys, Magnus here, bringing you another video. This one we're going to be doing another event idea video. Now, I actually did do this one a while ago. Unfortunately, I had to put the video on private because bit of issue with copyright there, because of course I just showed the images without, kind of taking my own kind of creative way. So this video actually did originally get taken down for copyright, but I'm hoping this version should be all fine because I've done it on the PowerPoint and not just going through a bunch of screenshots. It is fair use anyway. Like the other video that's in private, it got reinstated, it's back. I just don't want any more issues with it, so I've just put it on private for now. There shouldn't be any more issues with it because it is completely fair use. It's just, for some reason, they like to target the ones where I just kind of go a bunch through slideshows. This one, however, isn't on a slideshow. I mean, this is on a slideshow, so it should be fine. Not a slideshow. This is on a PowerPoint, not a slideshow. You know what I'm saying. Let's carry on. So I have done this before. That's why this thumbnail may be familiar. I've just used the same thumbnail. But today, anyway, I've kind of redone the video anyway because that old video I did it wasn't structured as an event. It pretty much was just everything they can add. So I just went through all the costumes, went through the characters, I went through the buildings, I went through the decorations, and I went, that was it. I didn't do tasks. I didn't go, I didn't, split them off into acts. I didn't come up with a quest line. I pretty much just went this. There you go, guys. It wasn't as creative anyway, and so I'm hoping this is a bit more creative as a video. So anyway, this is the quest line. So essentially, what's going to happen is, we'll go through this first of all. So the currency of the thing will be beer and whiskey. So the Duff beer will be one currency, and the Sad Grandad whiskey will be the other currency. So you can send Springfielders to get drunk at Moe's, Ned's, this stadium here, and the Quickie Mart, and that will make a bit of sense in a minute. You guys are probably saying, why the Quickie Mart? Well, basically, Homer's complaining that Moe's is always too crowded, so Homer wants more places to host, his after-work drinking session. So he wants to, basically make Apu set up a bar, make Ned set up his bar, make Homer drink in illegal venues. So as a result of all the makeshift bars, this causes the Hell Satans to come, annoying the Springfielders. So these are the Hell Satans. Of course, they are a parody of the Hells Angels. They will be the tappable people, basically. Just a bunch of these, maybe literally these 5 here will be the ones that will be walking around. You just tap them, and at the end of the event, I think you'll be able to get all of them as playable characters. As NPCs, as non-playable characters. Maybe to get one of all of them hanging around at the end. So yeah, they're basically a biker gang. So yeah. So the venues don't have enough Duff to go around, so Duff needs some new management to sort it out. So this is where you're going to place the Springfield War Memorial Stadium with Howard K. Duff. The War Memorial Stadium was knocked down and Duff Stadium was built over it, but I think Howard originally bought the War Memorial Stadium to knock down to then port the Duff Stadium, so we can get the Memorial Stadium because technically he did purchase that and he owned it for a bit before he rebuilt it or refurbished it or whatever. Anyway, and then finally Howard says they need a new mascot to lead, and also so basically you're gonna have to make men audition to replace Duffman. Duffman's gonna be pretty sad, and there'll be a new quest line with Duffman for this event if you have him. Of course, he is a premium character, so not everyone does have him, but if you do have him, there will be a special quest line that you can do that will allow you to allows you to do some stuff with Duffman. And then Howard picks Homer as the mascot, and then you unlock Duffman Homer. So moving on. Okay, so here's all the crafting. So first of all, here's Papa Wheelies. This is going to be the crafting building, so Homer needs to craft more bars and other things to help keep the bikers happy. So you got to build the Papa Wheelies to craft items. So this whole event's going to be about them keeping the bikers happy, making enough bars for them to get drunk, and eventually they'll enact their revenge and they'll kick all the Hell Satans out, and they'll manage to retake all their bars. But as a result, you have all these leftover bars now in Springfield that are gonna go out of business because there's not enough people. Something like that. Some stupid little end to the quest line. But yeah, this is gonna be the crafting building. So first of all, you have this Duff truck. You have the Duff boxes, which of course just boxes that have Duff beer in them. These will just be a decoration. You have a Duff barrel, which will be important for a task I'll talk about later. You have the Steinway, which is a bar, like a piano bar. You have this Duff truck, so quite slightly different to this one. So I think they could add, 2 different types of trucks. These are the Duff, I want to say I don't know what you call them, but it's a part of the machine anyway. Ferment? I don't know. Is it ferment? Is that the right word? I don't even know. But yeah, I don't know how beer's made. But there you go. Those barrel things anyway. We have Sir Soused a lot. This is another little bar, like a sort of medieval themed bar, so that's pretty cool. You have Moe's Express, which is a thing in the mall, but it couldn't. I don't really care. It can be placed anywhere. It's like a little bar where obviously Moe has, and this could maybe have a task with the Squeaky Voice Teen, who of course works for Moe on this for a bit. And then finally, the final crafting one, the sort of big final one that you unlock, is of course Duff McShark. Unfortunately, I don't think, as much as I want him to be a character, I think he literally has to be a decoration that will sit in the water with the barrel, just sort of sitting there floating with the barrel in his mouth, and then when you tap him, he bursts the barrel, and then he kind of turns over drunk, like, you know, like he's all intoxicated, because of course he's just drunk the barrel of Duff, and he's become drunk. So yeah, but I think he is definitely the thing that needs to be the final crafting item, or the most expensive crafting item. Sorry about that. Anyway, Howard's prizes. So basically, there's going to be like this little high side thing. And by the way, when I said you unlock Howard, you don't actually unlock Howard, as in he's now a character. He just walks around your town just like Norbert Van Houten did with his new prizes. So basically, what you do is if you tap him, he will tell you which Springfielders can go. Maybe you'll be able to send like 10 a day, and it will be 10 random Springfielders each day. But yeah, make Springfielders advertise Duff. I don't know how long it will be, but basically, once you do this, you earn sales, which is another currency. And then after this week, after every week, if you've earned 150 sales, you have to get 150. And then once you get more than 150, it just gives you cash, probably, or possibly it'll give you Duff or whiskey, so you can use that stuff for the other stuff. And once you got 150, it will store up. And then at the very end of the week, you get a prize. Now, if you didn't get the 150 before the end of the week, then unfortunately you don't get the prize. But then you can do it next week. So the prizes are, first of all, we have the boiled potato, which is it's like a roundabout. It's a bar on the roundabout. So I don't know if they could do something with this, so they make it actually so it's like one of those roads maybe that you can connect, like one of those decorations, like those roundabout decorations they had in the Secret Agents, and also they added it in Halloween. Maybe they could do this with this, but it's a building that you can connect. That would be so cool with the boiled potato in the middle. I would really love that. You have the Duff Beer Girls, and of course they're like a 3-in-1. No, they're not. They're 3 separate women, but they're in one costume somehow. This is Duff Beer. This will be a non-playable. It will just walk around and you tap it, and maybe she just puts her arm in the air like she's doing there. We have the Capital City Duff Bury. Really cool. I know they probably could put this in like a Capital City event, or possibly if they were to add Capital City into Destination Springfield, they possibly could do that, but I don't know. It would be cool if we just had it now. It wouldn't be that much of a thing. We have Spyro's. Now this is like another biker bar, so this would actually be pretty cool. And this will actually unlock with Spyro, who is the owner, and he has like a really, really big second name, which I didn't include in this video, but a massive, massive second name. It's basically a little gag. He sort of is a gag character, but I think they could do some interesting things with him and his bar. So yeah. And then of course, once you've completed all 4 of, or no, actually, well, after the final one, regardless of if you got it or not, there'll be a few tasks where you do with Howard, and then once you do those tasks, you'll unlock Howard himself, so you have Howard K. Duff permanently in your Springfield. And I think it's important for Howard to be the ruler, because of course he is this kind of villainous character, so it'd kind of be like an anti-hero, or almost ruling the event. But also, he is, of course, the owner of Duff, and he's a pretty big character who hasn't actually been added yet. And the reason I say this Homer's costume shouldn't be the leader is I think Homer's costume will just be a way for Homer to earn extra, basically, to earn extra than all the other people. So yeah, moving on. So this is the store. Now, obviously, these things can just be spread across the event, but basically we have the veterans. This is a veterans club, so this is a club where veterans come and drink and share their stories for 50 donuts. You have Mud City, which is like a nightclub for 45 donuts. You have the Memory Recovery Institute for 90 donuts. This is, of course, something where Homer goes where he gets incredibly drunk. So I guess it would make sense if they added this in, and it'd be a pretty funny thing to have. Starla, who as a character for 95 donuts, of course, she is not really a big-ish character, but she's there. We have the Duff chair for 20 donuts. This is a chair completely made of Duff cans and some bottles there. It looks a bit like the Game of Thrones throne. And we have the Duff dog. This is a costume for Santa's Little Helper, the very first costume for Santa's Little Helper, and a very unique costume because, of course, he's a dog. And I don't think they've really added a costume for an animal unless you count the barbarian. No, I don't think they've had a costume for an animal yet who's got tasks. So yeah, that would be really, really cool to have in the game. And then just a few extra things here. So we have the Sapphire Lounge with Gulliver Dark for 135 donuts. Of course, this is like a little bar that's quite close to the ye old off-ramp inn. And of course, he's not really a massive character, but he's there. And we have Janet and Cheryl for 40 donuts. Now, I think these two should be unplayable because, of course, they are the cheerleaders that are next to Duff Man. Now, what I think they should do is one of two things. Essentially, they will unlock a task for Duffman, but if you don't have Duffman and you get these two for 40 donuts, I think this should be a unique thing where as you tap them, let's say the task is going to be 6 hours. When you tap them, they'll do like a little action maybe, and then it will say, do you want them to start the Duffman 6 hour task? You click that, yes, and then you get to see Duffman as a little animation with them. Basically, they'll be cheerleading next to Duffman, something like that for players who don't have Duffman. I don't know, I'm just trying to spar some stuff. And then finally, we have Mexican Duffman for 25 donuts as a non-playable. There's not really much point giving him tasks because he only appeared as like a little gag. So we get him and he'll just walk around looking all weird. So yeah. So these two are non-playable, and so is Mexican Duffman. Yeah, so moving on. Okay, so we have the Act 1 prizes. So first of all, the only problem I can find with this entire event is it's not really got much of a structure. But the only I could do like bars, clubs, strip clubs, or something like that. Like so, Act 1 is all bars and alcoholics and something. I don't know. But it's not really got much structure. It's just pretty much me throwing a bunch of stuff together. But I think it could work. But anyway, we've got Comic Book Guys bar as the first prize. This is pretty cool. This is, of course, the bar that Comic Book Guys sets up. We have Wine by the Gallon, Hooch City, or whatever it's called. I think it's just called whatever, the Wine by the Gallon thing. This is a gas station, but it's not a gas station. It's a wine station. Basically, all the pumps have wine instead of petrol, so that's pretty funny. We have 5 O'Clock Somewheres, which is another bar. Again, pretty cool. It came from this like kind of one sort of skitty thing where they're all walking around and there's different bars here. But I think they could literally just add it on all the bars because why not? We have Juicy Wang. Don't know if that name's quite appropriate, but we'll take it. We've already got the League for Extra Horny Gentlemen in the game, so why not have Juicy Wang? Then we have Eskimos. This is the one that's just off just before Alaska, just before they enter Alaska, they go here. So it's a little parody of Moe's. So it would be kind of cool. It's another movie building that they haven't actually added in yet from the movie, so would be cool to see. And then finally, the final prize for Act 1 will be Sam and Larry as 2 separate characters. So it's a pretty cool end of first one prize. Of course, they are people have been wanting them in the game for a while, and of course they have been in The Simpsons since the very first episode, and they're still in The Simpsons to this day. And we haven't seen them yet, and we don't even know that much about them anyway. So whatever. Moving on. This is Act 2. So Act 2 prizes will have Drunkensteins, which is here. It looks a bit like the one that Marge's mum came with. That one. Whatever. We have Saddies, which is it's a strip club. We have Wet and Girls, again, it's a strip club. I think this is a sort of strip club theme anyway, because we have a stripper is the final prize. She is sort of a stripper. We have Loch Ness Pub. Maybe I should have thrown this in the other one, actually. But yeah, maybe I should have structured this. So like the third act would be like all like opposite stuff, like from different countries. I don't know, whatever. We'll have the Loch Ness Pub. This is, of course, the bar in Scotland. We've already got Nessie. We've already got like stuff from that episode anyway. I don't know if they're gonna add. They could possibly add the Loch Ness Pub and Destination Springfield. If they were to do a UK act, then they could definitely do the Loch Ness Pub. But they could add it here instead, and then re-add it in Destination Springfield. That would work. And we have this massive tower, which actually is like Moe's HQ. I think this is in like a vision or something, but pretty funny. And this is also a bar as well. I think like a massive, huge bar. So this would solve all their problems. But yeah, that's pretty cool. I think they could add this in the game. It would be awesome. And then the final prize, of course, is Titania with knockers. So Titania is, of course, sort of like she's not really a mascot for Duff. No, she was a cheerleader for Duff actually for a bit, I think, or at least she was once. But she works in knockers. She also, I think, appeared at Moe's a few times, and yeah, she also appeared at Juggernauts, but we didn't actually see the front of that building, so it was another bar. Basically, of course, knockers is a parody of Hooters, so yeah. Hooters? Yeah, I think it's called Hooters. Anyway, moving on. Act 3. So Act 3 we have Derby O'Guzlins, which of course is the Irish one. They may want to save that for 4th of July, not 4th of July, St. Patrick's Day. They may want to save it for that because of course we haven't got that in the game yet, and it seems like they've given up a bit on St. Patrick's Day from last year anyway, because they only give us that float. But they really could give us that. That would be cool. We have Crocodile Drunkies. Again, they could obviously save this for the Australia Act in Destination Springfield. If they wanted to do an Australia Act, they could save this, I guess. But it would be cool to get it in the game now with this event, because it would make sense. Plus, they could maybe do some stuff with it. We have the Tapas Bar. Again, pretty cool. Nice little thing to have in the game. We have the Shafting Chaps Riding Club. This is like a Wild Westy sort of thing, so it's kind of weird how they didn't add in the Wild West, but it could be like a reminder of the Wild West or something, I don't know. We have PF Wangs. Now, of course, this is another gay club. We've got a few gay clubs now in the game, so I don't know. How realistic is it to have, like, 3 of them? Actually, do we have... I think one's a lesbian one, though, so I guess. And then the other is a gay club. Oh, no, because there's that other one. Yeah, no, there's a few, actually. I'm pretty sure that's not that many gay people in Springfield, so that'd be a bit awkward. But yeah, I don't know. They could give us that. And then the final thing is the Aristocrat. The Aristocrat, which is the bar with the Aristocrat. So, of course, the Aristocrat is the bar just opposite of Nose. It's not a very nice bar. It's it's full of just really dodgy people. And of course, it's run by the Aristocrat, who is a pretty dodgy looking man himself. So yeah, we've never actually seen the full Aristocrat bar. We've only really seen the side of it and the sign, as you can see in the picture, but I'm sure the Tapped Out team could more than capable to complete it and add it to the game. So yeah. Anyway, moving on. Here's a Gills deal. What? So here's the Gills deal. So basically, it will be you'll get the barrel roll, which of course is a ride where you like sit in the barrel and it goes around like a roller coaster. And you'll also get the the Duff Beer Hall of Presidents, which is right here, which is like a sort of cardboard cutout, I think. So that's pretty funny. But yeah, you get this and you get the barrel roll to add to your Duff Gardens if you want. And then this will actually unlock. The main reason I put this in is to, of course, unlock all the Duffs. Now I want them to make this also. Considering that we're gonna be getting essentially a roller coaster, I think they should make it so now we can store all of our Duff Garden stuff and bring it into Crossy No, maybe, I don't know. Or at least we bring the barrel roll. I mean, come on. I don't want a roller coaster in Springfield, for Christ's sake. I think if we're going to have this roller coaster, they should definitely add that. It'd be a bit weird having only one thing from Duff Gardens in Crossy but it would be so weird for me to have a roller coaster in Springfield when there's a perfectly good theme park with plenty of land to, add it in. Whatever. But 500 donuts, I think that's fair enough, because all these will be individual characters and they won't have unique tasks. All tasks will be pretty much will be the same, bar one task for slowly. But yeah, moving on. So that's it. That's basically the entire event. So let's do some tasks. So first of all, we have Duff Dog, drink beer for 60 minutes, be crowned king for 6 hours, sign new contract for 8 hours, run around for 12 hours, and film advertisement for 24 hours. That will be, those last 2 will be, of course, animated. The rest will be, and the first 3, I don't know, be crowned king is also animated. The others will be probably in the not Duff Fury. Duff Memorial Centre, we'll say. Anyway, not the Memorial, the Memorial, the Memorial Stadium. I'm not thinking straight. Anyway, Duff Man Homer. So drink Duff Molten Cold for 60 minutes. This is like a new type of Duff, and he'll just be holding that, drinking it. Sit on throne for 4 hours, which of course that big chair. Advertise Duff for 6 hours. This will be probably Moe's. I'm going to say Moe's. Sign your contract for 8 hours. This will be it will be basically it'll be like one of those tasks where it will be done in the old Memorial Center, old Memorial Stadium. But if you don't have that, then no, if you scrap that, doesn't matter. Yeah, it'll be there. Party down at Duff Bury for 12 hours. Of course, that will be at Duff Bury. And Swear for 24 hours. That will be at that barrel you saw before in the crafting, where he'll literally be putting his hand on it, as you can see there, swearing his oath. Yeah. So anyway, moving on. So like I said, surely has a 3-hour task, which is fight Homer. This will be an animated task, of course, but apart from that, all their tasks will be walk around for 60 minutes, get pictures with kids for 4 hours, talk about Duff history for 6 hours, recommend rides for 8 hours, get drunk off their own product for 12 hours, and take off costumes for 24 hours. All these tasks will be done at the closest the closest Duff Gardens ride. So if the ride closest is the barrel roll, then they'll do it there. If the entrance is closest, then they'll go there, etc., etc., etc. Of course, all these will not be animated apart from the walk around one. That will be animated, and the separate one for the 3-hour task with Homer, that will be animated, and the rest won't be, unfortunately. Actually, no, the get drunk one could be, I guess. But of course, 7 of them, they're all going to be individual. You have edgy, remorseful, dizzy, tipsy, surely, queasy, and sleazy. So it'd be cool to have them all. Then we have Howard. So Howard has smoke for 60 minutes on a cigar. Run stadium for 4 hours. That will be at the Duff Stadium or the Old Memorial Stadium, regardless of wherever one you have. Eat every type of egg, again at the stadium. Get mad at an investment for 8 hours. This will be animated, him just getting mad. Purchase stocks for 12 hours. This could be anywhere, really. I don't know where it could be. Anywhere. Search for new mascot for 24 hours. Again, could be anywhere. Then we have Spyro. So Spyro has collect money for world's longest name for 60 minutes. Of course, that's his second name, not his first name. Keep bikers under control for 4 hours over his bar. Watch a game for 8 hours over at the stadium. Run Spyros for 12 hours, and then clean up after a bar fight. Both, of course, in Spyros, and that one's for 24 hours. Moving on, we have Sam. Buy a 6-pack for 60 minutes. Oh, by the way, these tasks are basically the same, apart from Larry has one additional task. The only reason is because, of course, they don't really do much in The Simpsons. Again, they are just background characters. As cool as it is to have them, and as much as they do appear, they are, at the end of the day, background characters, so they're not going to have some very interesting tasks. Their tasks are going to be pretty basic, and we can't really expect anything else, to be honest, because they haven't done much in The Simpsons. But I'll just go through Larry's, actually, I'll go through Larry's, and then obviously the Laugh Uncontrollably, which is 4 hours, is exclusive to Larry, because of course that will be animated. But buy a 6-pack, that will be at the Quickie Mart. Interrupt Mensa meeting for 6 hours. This will be an animated task at one of the gazebos. Him sitting on the step with his lager. Sam will be sitting on the step with his lager, and Larry will just be sitting there. With his Duff beer, you know what I mean. So that one actually will be animated, which will be cool. Anyway, carrying on. Drink at Moe's for 8 hours. So that, of course, that will be at Moe's. Walk around drunk for 12 hours. That will be animated as well. And then sleep off at Moe's for 24 hours. The both of them, where they'll just both be in Moe's. And then we have this guy, who I forgot his name. Hang on, let me see. He's not really like a very big character. Gulliver Dark. So Gulliver. Anyway, so Gulliver has sing and dance for 60 minutes, that will be animated. Practice songs for 4 hours, that will be at the Sapphire Lounge. Style hair for 6 hours, this could be animated. Call mother for 8 hours, this will be a cool task because this will actually be at a phone box. Of course, the base phone boxes we've already got in the game. Where he'll just be standing there crying because, of course, he's calling his mother. It was a joke in The Simpsons because Homer stood up and said how mistreated women are or something like that. Anyway, drink away depression for 12 hours. This will be at the Sapphire Lounge, and then sleep above club for 24 hours again at the Sapphire Lounge. So we'll have 3 animated ones, so that's not too bad. Smoke and drink and this is Starla. Smoke and drink for 60 minutes. That will be animated. Change wig for 4 hours. This will be probably the Brown House or possibly somewhere else, I don't know. Drink at Moe's for 6 hours, of course, at Moe's. Check on lungs for 8 hours over at the hospital, because of course she is a heavy smoker. Broadcast show on KBBL for 12 hours over at the KBBL, of course. And then practice hopeless singing career for 24 hours, probably at Moe's, I want to say, maybe? I don't know. Could be anywhere. We have Titania. So Titania's got served up for 60 minutes. Her holding those big... her with those big jugs of Duff. I'm joking. Spill drinks on herself for 4 hours. Of course, that will be her getting a top wet. Of course. Avoid flirting men for 6 hours over at Knockers. Shift at Knockers for 8 hours, of course, at Knockers. Argue with Duffman for 12 hours. Her and Duffman arguing. So that will be, of course, one that will include Duffman and will be animated. And then dance for 24 hours. So most of these are animated, which would be pretty cool. And then we have the aristocrat. Not many tasks here, but hey, the free ones tend to not have that many tasks anyway. But wield shotgun for 60 minutes. So this will be him just going around wielding his shotgun. Get eye drops for 4 hours. That will be at the hospital, or possibly the family clinic. Work at bar for 6 hours. Clean up bar for 12 hours. Of course, that's both at the aristocrat. And gamble at Moe's for 24 hours over at Moe's. So that's it, guys. That's it for the alcohol themed event. There's all the tasks, there's all the characters, there's all the buildings, there's all the decorations, there's all the questline. So I hope you enjoyed this one. Please tell me your thoughts on it. Do you think this would be a good event, or am I crazy? I don't know. I think this could be a pretty solid event, and I really would like to see it. But you guys tell me your thoughts. So thanks for watching. I'll see you next video. Goodbye.